Let's go to another one of our excellent colleagues. In a highly unusual move, the Labour leader, Andrew Little, has released the party's internal polling after rejecting the results of a TV poll this week. The poll Mr Little objected to was this week's One News Colmar-Brundon poll that showed a 12-point gap between National and Labour. Our political editor, Jane Patterson, joins us now from our gallery office. And Jane, we are both reminded, I know, of Jim Bolger and Te Kuiti on election night in 1993 when he said, "Bugger the polls."
That's right, John, and of course politicians always like the polls that show them in a good light and have them higher, but this week I think Andrew Little has been a bit spooked by that One News poll. He came out very strongly saying it was a rogue poll, he didn't trust the findings of it, and that really painted him into a corner where he's had to release Labour's own internal polling, which is very, very rare. Normally parties like to keep their own polling very confidential, and the Labour poll had National on 40 and Labour on 31, but they did caution that that result for National was quite low. But of course, the thing about polling is you can't take these one polls, whether you're a commentator or whether you're a politician. It's the trends that we look out for. We have RNZ's poll of polls that smooths things out. So maybe a bit premature for Andrew Little to jump the gun on just the result of that One News poll.
Well, what does RNZ's poll of polls say at the moment? Have you got the latest one with you, Jane?
I have. So we normally do it on after 4 polls, but we do get interim results, and I must say it's not actually good news for Labour on that one that we have. That puts National on 45% and it puts Labour at 28%, so that's a 17-point gap, so actually even worse than the One News poll. But as I said, we look at the trends, and on the trends National has been coming down slightly. Labour remains steady around the low 30s, high 20s. Winston Peters and New Zealand First, they're the party that is creeping up in all of these polls.
Jane, one final question. Andrew Little looking a bit brittle here, and would it have been better simply to ignore the Colmar-Brundon and just keep on keeping on? Has he drawn attention to Labour's position?
I think that's exactly what he's done. He's drawn attention to this bad poll, and other parties, they get bad polls, you ignore them, you move on. You know, there's going to be a lot of navel gazing in the caucus room. What are we doing? You always sort of have these reactions, but you can't afford to react too strongly to them because it's confidence in the caucus. Instead, it draws attention to the fact that you are polling lower, even if you think that you're not, and that's not where you should be. I think he reacted too quickly on this one, and it's become a story that probably would have passed in a day.
Jane Patterson, our political editor, live from the gallery. Thanks, Jane.